Hello everyone, hello and welcome to more action from the Dune Imperium Cup. I am the Black Shadow and welcome to today's game. Coverage of the first week of action, this coming from Group H, featuring fellow co-commentator CJFM, Rosado, Dangerous Man and the Dusty Ruck, competing for action. This is, of course, part of the latest TTS tournament with over 100 entrants. Tournament lasting a total of 10 weeks, 6 weeks of group games, followed by knockouts towards a grand finalist with a $400 prize pool. Not too shabby. The format of the group stages is 5 points for the winner, 3 points for second, third point for second place, and 1 point for fourth. Once everyone's played their 4 games, the top several will qualify to the knockouts. Just on solo duties, as I say, my usual partner is involved in today's game, so I'm going to be commentating on this one. However, if you are interested, over on his channel on Hidden Assets, CJ is actually recording this game as well on his side, and he will be doing a post-commentary edition of this game about his thoughts and bits and pieces as he goes through. So it's going to be fascinating to see how this ties up to the thoughts as he goes here. So this should be a fun game. We've had already some pretty crazy matches as it is already. So we'll see how he goes. So Dangerous Man is first player, so as the rules are, we choose reverse order, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and wow, there's already a lot of fun coming up here. Have a look at Imperium row. We've got Guild Admin, Full Scale, Fufir, Death Commander, and the Engineer. Engineer here as well with some fairly cheap techs, Wind Traps, Trading Drones, always popular, the very powerful Holtzman engine as well. And wow, there's big guns here. Unimortani for Rosado in 4th position, a very unusual place to pick her. Tends to get chosen much earlier on in the turn order, but we can rock and roll with that. Tesia Vernius up in 3rd, who's become far more popular a choice now that people are kind of getting the grips of the game. The Beast in 2nd, and then Helena, the Infiltrator, opening up combat here. So probably a likely attempt to try and draw a ring, I would suspect. Probably pull either Federkin or Guild Admin aside and start getting some card trashing immediately. That looks like that's going to be the plan. So best luck to all of the competitors. And we shall get ourselves underway for turn 1. We'll see how we go here. So, let's see. Helena draws no ring. She's the only person not to pull her ring. That is unfortunate. Don't know quite what's going on with Una here. She's definitely not first player. So, oops. Never mind. So, a lot of pretty decent hands here. Outside of Helena, Helena's got a kind of rubbish opening hand here. She does have both her whatchamacallits? Convincing arguments, which is kind of nice, and allowing for a big buy, but no ring to reserve, unfortunately. That could have been paired up nicely to pick up, say, like Foof here. That would have been a really awesome opening take, but it is not going to be an option here. Beast picking up, wow, almost too strong an opening hand here. Picks up both Diplomacy cards as well as his Signet ring. Slightly unfortunate, Beast. You kind of want that space a little bit better. Also, no daggers on hand either. So if he does want a piece of this opening conflict, he'll have to rock and roll here. Looks like Dangerous perhaps misdrew here. There's some technical problems here. We'll just get that resolved. Meanwhile, Tesia Vernius for CJ. A very nice opening hand here. You kind of want with Tesia, realistically, you want to pull a Diplomacy card. And probably Signet ring, probably in your first turn. You just don't want to pull your Signet without any diplomacies, of course. Her Signet ability allows you to gain an influence with a faction where you do already have a Snooper token, which is how Tesia works. She has 4 tokens here. And as you gain influence, you trigger the tokens, which then triggers her various abilities that gain as you go down the list to the very powerful below extra bump and the bonus for your troubles. It's all about getting those influence tracks, so Duplicity very strong for that. And then Unimortani here, who is a very late game style player. Her ability to basically spend a load of Solari to get hold of some goods. The thing is, you need to get the coins up and running. She gets bonus money from trading and such, but has no war to start with, so much more of a late game player is Una. So it looks like we're pretty much ready to rock and roll. Helena has redrawn. Apparently there was some action issues, so she's redrawn her hand here. And wow, possibly not even, perhaps a potentially even worse draw here. Double daggers and the diplomacy, so immediately we'll go to the tech negotiation to pick up the extra persuasion there. Makes total sense. She's going to have 5 by with the diplomacy here, so she's probably be targeting Fufir. Don't know if anyone else is going to realistically challenge for that. Probably not. Unless there's some early declares here, but I don't necessarily see who's going to be doing that. The Beast is going to be up here, so see a lot of the usual stuff here, I'm sure. Trips the fold space, trips the wealth. See if anyone's interested in a early trip to Hardy Warriors. We do have the transporting skirmishes is one of the most sought after skirmishes in the game for the extra troop, and the important bump on the cargo tracker in order to get hold of various goods there. Usually heavy fought after. Tezia taking wealth. She's going to be looking to accelerate through the influence pretty quickly, get the Swordmaster going. Makes total sense. Yuna obviously is going to look to smuggle, gets a bonus coin for her trouble, so picks up 2. So basically a super wealth, effectively, without the influence. Very nice for her. So Helena's got 5 currently. There's no real point in holding on to the 6th point, I wouldn't imagine. So I would imagine she'll play diplomacy here. You could do a lot of things here if you wanted to. I think any diplomacy to Fremen seems good. Depends how much you want to win the combat here. I'm a big fan of steel suiting first turn in order to get hold of the second water, kind of make try and keep control of the Great Flat. Also, taking second spot here, grabbing a couple of spies would be pretty nice here as well. So I think this is probably fine. Also, your first in turn order, it's going to be pretty difficult for you to... You basically got to go to Hardy Warriors to have any chance of winning this one. Beast's going to take a trip to Carthag with Signet Ring. Allows him to get a bonus troop in, so effectively a Hardy Warriors of his own. Saving Sikh allies, I do like that. Picks up Bindu suspension for his troubles. But yeah, definitely I'm a big fan of... the play I like to do is trying to keep hold of your Sikh allies card. Try and save it for a little bit later. Makes you a bit trickier to play against. A lot of people just burn through the Sikh allies immediately. But if you can save it, then I think that definitely helps later on. It's almost like a bonus fold space that you just haven't used yet. So I think that's always nice to do where possible. Tezia with the early reveal to steal Fufir. Wow. Didn't even bother for duplicity. Now, that's interesting. And it's very interesting. Very common for Tezias to go wealth and then will duplicit somewhere. Maybe to like Haga Basin to pick up the influence in the spacing guild. But just completely not interested in that. Very interesting early reveal. But Fufi, a powerful card, especially for someone like Tezia. Obviously wants to get the faction access, so it makes total sense there. So I can get behind that play there. Alright, Unit will be up next. Unit definitely, if she wants, she has obviously a diplomacy, a signet ring. If she wants to win this combat, she definitely can. And I actually reckon she probably should look to take this one down, but she reveals as well! Also for 5, and she's going to take the Ixian Engineer immediately. Now, that is a curious call. Wow, thought you'd want to be looking to take the combat here, get the extra bump on transport. You were doing a lot of transporting this one, surely. Interesting call. So, Federican for... oh, that's huge. Picks up Federican. She has 2 more points to buy. And the voice turns out I think, one of the best early cards in the game. The voice, being able to block characters early to stop them from getting like a Swordmaster or High Council. Super powerful when people only typically have 2 agent actions. Can be really nasty, but turns it down. Goes for the double trashing with guild admin. Not so sure I like that. I think voice is probably a lot more versatile, especially for Helena. You can always get it down. You have the ability to infiltrate. But regardless, Beast is going to be up here. Spice Smugglers feels pretty good. Opportunity to pick this up here. The City Axis is always good for him. Use that to try and cement the Spacing Guild Alliance here. Some money would also be good if he wants to go to some Dreadnought action. And the Beast is going to somewhat surprisingly win this battle. Did not expect this. Was pretty sure Yuna was going to make the dive there. But going fixing Engineer immediately. So basically saying, I'm here to buy cheap techs. I don't necessarily if Yuna is the best person for be doing that. We shall see. Quite a commitment to go for that immediately. We'll just see if it plays off, but it's definitely pretty risky. Alright, so turn 2 is up. Early siege for Carthag. Everyone's pretty heavily stocked here, so there's going to be a lot of fighting. Awkward for the Beast, though. Of course, his opening hand was super strong. I would have honestly considered bindoing here, and trying to pull a decent card out of your pull out your diplomacy, your Seek Allies, get your Signet Ring here. This is a pretty nice combat to go for. Turn 2 Carthag. You're going to get some cash out of it. People love Carthag. You've got Helena in the game. You might have occasions where you get multiple trips in Carthag in a turn because she's using Infiltrate to go there. So, I don't know. He might decide to use Bindu, might not. We'll see what the plan is. You got both your daggers as well. I think it'd be super tempting to Bindu, try and hit one of your cards there and rock and roll. We see how we go here. Tesia is going to rock and roll to Carthag. Picks up Rapid Mobilization. Never a bad card. Never too bad at all. She's going to obviously make the play as well with the double daggers. There's going to be a lot of combat here. Double daggers for Yuna as well. Yuna, of course, does not have any water, however, so she cannot go Hardy Warriors. So Seek Allies feels pretty natural here, I would imagine. Might also go Wealth, just for the cash. Full Space, also an option. So Yuna's going to kind of play a kind of, so she's basically saying, I'm not really going to get involved here. I'm going to kind of just build up slowly. Spend some time to kind of build up the game and make the strikes later on. This is this is interesting. I admire the long style here from Rosado, but this is very risky in a game that is sometimes very, very quick. Like, you need the game to go like round 8, round 9 if you're gonna take this strategy here, and you can't guarantee that with Beast and Tesia. You never know where things are gonna land here, so we shall see how we go. Helena gonna go mining at the Hagar Basin. Awkward spot. I don't know. I probably don't commit here. I don't think it's worth it. I'd keep the troops probably for later on, something a bit nicer. You can always infiltrate anyways. She's going to look to put in one here. Notice that in the last combat as well, put in one troop, just trying to pick up some cheap stuff here. Here comes the Bindu play from the Beast. This makes total sense. See what he pulls. Big draw. Picks up Seek Allies. That's good enough. Hardy Warriors surely incoming here. I would imagine that seems the play. If you don't do it, then Tesia could always do it. You know, and Fold Space is not there. This feels like Hardy Warriors pretty much all day long, and it definitely is. We'll make the play here. Carthag's big for the Beast. You know, being able just to control that is going to be really significant, so it makes total sense to me here. Get them all in. Put all 4 in. Get your 8 strength going. Double daggers. Obviously, you don't know what Tesia's going to have here. Tesia is also going to put in her extra troop, also with the double daggers here. So this looks like it's going to be a tie, by the looks of things. Don't know if CJ was paying attention to see if Beast has double daggers or not. Might be going to knowing that it's a tie currently. So we shall see. Yuna is going to be up next. Has free persuasion. I'd probably just play something here. I don't know what you want to do necessarily. Maybe you could just look to go to like Imperial Basin. Just pick up a couple of spice here. It's kind of awkward this. You know, smuggling's gone. You've decided not to take the... you've gone Fold Space, which is obviously going to be good for you later on. If it's you and Beast that are going to be competing, it's going to be kind of largely shared. Looks like a trip to tech negotiations seems fine. Put a little... get the extra reveal. Takes you to 4 if you want maybe Gunflopter or something. That's kind of nice. Also, the spice there later on. If you could be doing a lot of transporting, that's going to be good for you. Helena infiltrating. She's going for early Holtzman. Picks it up for the 4 spice there. So Helena making her intentions pretty clear. The 6 card draw is never a bad thing. So that's always pretty solid there. That will reveal Sonic Snoopers as the new tech here. I always think Sonic Snoopers is pretty nice. You know, for a couple of spice for guaranteed intrigue, and you can get redraws and stuff you don't like. I think it's a pretty decent cost effect if you're going to go down that path. So no, go for like Bene Gesserit Alliance, that sort of thing. I don't think that's ever too bad. But obviously the risk is that you pick that up, you could reveal something nicer. It's good tech actually for Yuna. Yuna, remember, of course, has Ixen Engineer, so she's saying, I want to pick up free techs in this game. And these are all pretty cheap so far. You know, these are very, very cheap techs. Some of the cheapest in the game. So this is good for her. She needs to start getting spice together, does Yuna. And then maybe that's the play here. Yuna maybe should be going to take the sheep spice and then going to negotiations. She can start picking stuff up. It's a better play. Helena reserving the voice. Again, super powerful card for her. How no one else took that, I don't know. The space travel for the beast. The double reveal, the 2 persuasion's nice, but it's always a little bit tricky to me. Imperial Spy for Tesia. Do like this card. You need once trash burn, get the extra intrigues, never bad. And then Yuna with the 4 reveal as well. Few decent options. Is going to take the Shock Trooper. Wow. Now that is most interesting. A lot of swords, but you need to be getting people to the trip up here, and that can kind of give your game away a little bit. So that's an interesting choice. We're also making some interesting choices. I'm very curious to see how this is going to play out. Very curious how this is going to play out. And then the pickup for the voice for Helena. So that is going to be combat. There is nothing to reveal for combat, so Carthag will remain neutral. Shared spice and intrigue for the players. Wow, Beast picks up Stage Instant. That's a huge card for him. Massive card. Private Army for Tesia as well, which is pretty damn nice. So some nice picks there. Stage Instant for the Beast. Obviously, so easy to get troops into combat here. So that is huge. We'll see how things progress. Next up is Arakeen. So more combat here. Wow. A lot of victory points available. Arakeen as well. This is always a huge fight normally. Because second place, that 4-star is really big for chasing for your Swordmaster. If I could press the right button, there you go. Or if you want to go down the high counter route. Both very, very valuable. So Arakeen could get fought heavily here. This might be Yuna's time to get stuck in and start making a push. We'll see how things progress. So Tesia's going to be up first. Picks up Fufir, picks up the Spy, Signet Ring. Lots of options here. This all looks pretty nice. Obviously, you've got Rapid Mobilization, so I wouldn't be surprised if he considers perhaps making a couple of Conspire trips over the course of this game. Good way to get the influence. Good way to get some troops going as well, and then look to mobilize those later on. Seems pretty solid. But obviously he needs to pick up some spice first, and could go Great Flat Conspire. Doesn't seem a terrible option, but it's just going to take wealth and take the intrigue by the looks of it. Or do you do it with Fufir and take the card draw and keep the... I don't know. I mean, the thing is with Fufir, you can reveal and you pick up the... intrigue that way as well. I think if you're just going to go wealth, I think you just play Imperial Spy here. You're going to be discarding a card for a spice anyways as part of Tesia. And you might even consider, like, perhaps playing Fufir. Maybe go, like, Selective Breeding or something. No one else can Great Flat currently. Helena can definitely force it, however. And kind of put Tesia, kind of force her into it. So we'll see what the plan is. But a lot of options here. But I just think with Rapid Mobilization, Conspire just feels even more valuable than normal. It just feels like a really, really nice thing to do here. You could even consider going with Fufir, maybe. Fufir to maybe like Steel Suits or something. Or Hardy Warriors, perhaps. Though you probably wouldn't do that. But the idea being you want this to be your second proc so that you actually get the influence bonus. So you get a couple of troops in that way. Great Flat it is. We'll see if there's duplicit action ongoing here. She can take down from any faction she has and increase of any faction. She has a Snooper token. And she's going to drop that for the guild. Yeah, seems reasonable. But there will be more trips to the Emperor before all is said and done. So, Yuna, I would imagine, probably wealth. You could smuggle. But also Fold Space is available. And will be first one to secure access to interstellar shipping, which of course is pretty good. And that is going to be the play here. So she will pick up that. Take the first point of the game to Yuna. That will need trashing. Oh, no, she won't. It's basically Fold Space to Fold Space. And she does get a card draw as well. There we go. So Helena with the Signet Ring, she's going to start picking up the cheap tech. She's going to go for training drones. Very strong for Helena, of course. Can always go into cities whenever you want. Really nice. Another cheap tech here in the valuable holo projectors. That's really nice. No cards have come up with like unloading effects to make extra use out of it, but still always good just to cycle through your deck. What do you reserve here with Helena? Yeah, power play seems pretty good. Mother Miriam might also have been fun here, though, as well. Smuggler's Thopter turns up. Very powerful card now compared to what it used to be in the original Dune. Much improved due to the value of shipping. Beast is going to be up. Steel Suits looks pretty good. Always nice to get the water and get the troops in at the same time. That's when you really want to be looking to use Steel Suits. It's all about action economy. You want to do as many things as you can with your turns. That's always a nice way to do it. Get those troops in. And if you take second place, great. You're more than happy with that. You've got the Signet Rings as a backup. Beast, of course, does want to rush a faction alliance as well. That would be very good for him. And get his ring be even stronger. Wow, CJ's going adventuring! Immediately going to Highliners. Wow. Now that is most interesting. Doing it, I think, partially to get access to the interstellar shipping as well. But fascinating decision to go immediate Highliners. This is very aggressive. Picks up a Recon as the draw from Fufir, so he's going to have 5 to reveal with and buy, which is pretty nice. 5 looking pretty good. Not enough for Worm Riders or the Reverend Mother, but still, you know, Gunthopter looks juicy. That, I mean, Helena, I would like that. There's a lot of people who would like Gunthopter. Very strong card. It's nice, obviously, for Tesia, although maybe not as good because you've got Rapid Mobilization already. Tesia will get some of these in here. I think it would be a mistake to leave them garrisoned. Or you could just send them all, pretty much, and make a good stand here. I think... Ooh. Yeah, don't have the Spice for Private Army, so you know you've got 11 swords max. Is going to send them all in. This is interesting. Didn't expect this at all. I would have thought maybe he's put in, like, maybe 3 and accept, like, second place looks pretty good. But looks like trying to secure Arakeen feels maybe more valuable. I don't know. You could definitely make arguments for keeping 1 or 2 in, but I think it's fine. So Yuna back up here. I mean, I don't know how you don't go interstellar shipping. Like, what else do you do? Oh, yes, of course, Snooper Token as well. So it does get the option to discard for a thing. For a spice. Don't have to do it, I don't believe. If you don't want to. Meanwhile, Yuna is... Wow, Yuna's going to Carthag. Now, what is this? This is interesting. Wants the intrigue? Wanting to take second, I guess? Wow, does not interested. Picks up Windfall. Oh, what a huge card for Yuna. That's huge. That has probably secured... that might well secure a Swordmaster in the next round. That's a big card. Remember, of course, anytime Yuna gains Solari on her turn, she will pick up a bonus one. So that's effectively a +3 for her, which is pretty nice. Wealth for the Helena. Just kind of taking the cash here, of course. Nothing much going on there. It's always fine. Now, what does Beast do here? Beast could continue to commit troops. There is an argument that says you commit more and perhaps stage here. I don't know. Taking just second spot's pretty good, but I think if you're going to do that, looks like you would have done it elsewhere. Has the spice, of course, so looking to generate the funds that way. Picking up the water, interesting. I like it. Ooh, hello. Now this looks like a stage instant is being prepped here. Definitely looks like that is the case. We'll spend the spice for the trip here, so that secures the beast with interstellar shipping as well. 3 characters already with it within 3 turns is pretty prompt. So there's going to be a lot of battle for that. Beast is the only one with a player to the right with a bit of freedom. So might be able to get a bit more out of that. Tesia picks up Thopter first. Very powerful card, of course. Look, the makings of a good deck here for Tesia. Unit is going to reveal for 4. Gunfopter looks good. Oh, Firm Grip turns up, however. What a huge card for Una. Oh my goodness me, that's an enormous card for Una. Wow. What a pickup. Helena is going to reveal for 4, so she'll pick up the power play. Freighter Fleet turns up, however, though, and she does have... Holo Projectors is on the board here, so that looks like a really nice way to kind of get some extra goods going there. Beast might well consider picking it up. I don't see how Helena turns down, how she turns down power play. It's just kind of too much of a good card, so... But Beast has a lot of good options here. Beast has 4 to buy, so Gunfopter's there, Freighter Fleet, and maybe a Liaison is there. Interesting choices here. Gunfopter looks really tasty, though. Kind of hard to turn that down. But Freighter Fleet is very, very addictive and does take it down. So we'll take that there. Assassination Mission on next card if he's interested in getting hold of more money. But I don't think I'd get that as well as Freighter Fleet. You're kind of starting to fill up your deck with a little bit of garbage. You know, you'd having to find ways to deal with it. Oh, unless you think you're going to get hold of Holo Projectors, probably wouldn't gather that. So that will suffice. So that is going to be that. So Tesia is going to win the combat. The question is, does Beast stage now? He might as well, I guess. He's tied for 3rd. So he will stage now for the points. Taking out to 4 points, so an early push ahead for the Beast. Always solid. That's going to be a benefit as well for Una. That's huge, because Una, if he hadn't done that, Una only gets 2 Solari, which is not enough to get on Swordmaster. So, kind of fortunate for Una that she's going to be able to pick up Swordmaster on the spot here. But you take what you can get. So, Arakeen falls to Tesia. And we'll move on to round 4. Some decent decks looking here, though. Voice and Federkin for Helena, super strong. Una with Iron Grip is just, like, potentially, like, kind of busted. If you can get your deck down, that is a way just to absolutely raise lines. Because bear in mind, you go to Wealth, which is actually gives you free slice. So you're gaining Solari and gaining 2 influence points. It's huge. So we'll have to see what the progression is. Tesia is, I don't believe is first. It's Una to start off this turn here. A lot of daggers in play for this one. It is the Mentat fight, sorting through the chaos. So a bit of money available to everyone. Also fighting for the Mentat. Red in a decent shape to try and take this down. Red may well be interested as well, considering they don't have a lot of money. So a trip to... let's move this across for them. So a trip to whatever you want to call it, to Swordmaster, not going to be a while. Here we go. Now this is nice. So Yixian Engineer is going to pick up the 4 spies at the basin, as no one had taken it yet. And the Engineer will allow a automatic purchase on the spot as well. I don't know which one you pick here. Holo Projectors looks really good. Sonic Snoopers is a bit cheaper. She does have the extra cheapness as well, however, so... I don't know, Holo Projector looks pretty good. But it's going to go Sonic Snoopers instead, so just taking the intrigue. Chow Murky picks up next. Very, very nice card. I think in casual games, maybe not so much, but in a tournament where, you know, every point counts, Chow Murky can literally just get you points that you wouldn't have got otherwise. Poison Snooper turns up for Una. Never a bad card to pick up. So that looks pretty fine. I imagine Una will be picking up the Windfall and getting hold of Swordmaster next turn. Wanted to get hold of the Spice now, which is totally understandable. And yeah, I think get the troop in. Sure. I don't see anything wrong with that. Interesting though that Una's had 2 times now to go to Instellar and has dropped them both. So a little bit fortunate for the Beast, I suppose. But he will not mind. Up to Helena is going to be up next. Not a bad-looking deck, Diplomacy. You know, it's kind of okay. It's not the greatest deck in the world, however. I think the focus should definitely look into try and win this combat here, for sure. Gonna go Wealth again. Trying to get some money together. Obviously, conscious about Swordmaster. It's turn 4. No one technically has it yet. Una will be about to. But characters a bit slow on their development of cash here, so that's going to be a problem. So Interstellar for the Beast. He gets obviously a garrison troop. He will go down and up. Not interested in buying a cheap tech, which is curious. I would have considered maybe, but he obviously wants to get the money to pay for Swordmaster here, assuming that Yuna cannot get it, which of course is not the case. So the influence bump with the Spacing Guild, looking to make the push there. And a couple of trumps in garrison there for him. So all well and good. That's pretty nice. Tezia up next. Tezia with a bit of a funky hand. The double daggers. Got a little bit of spice. No way to really cycle your deck, though. You don't have spice for selective. You got a load of water, but there's not a lot of great value for it. Unless you're going to hag a basin and just take the free spice. Feels kind of awkward. Unless you're going to do that and then conspire, but it feels kind of icky. Feels like you could do probably better for your turns. Might just smuggle here. But no, we'll take it. Doesn't feel great. I feel like that you kind of doesn't feel very effective. You have no garrison troops. You can't send. You're literally just changing 2 water for free for a spice, a water for free spice, I should say, which is, you know, doesn't feel too great. But that is going to be what it is. So we'll see. Here comes the windfall for Yuna, picking up the free cash. That's gonna be a little bit disappointing to the Beast. Not a lot you can do about that. And Swordmaster will follow. Will be the first one to take it, which is always super, super nice. Turn 4 is pretty good to pick up your Swordmaster. That is the wrong Swordmaster. That is not yours. That's not how that works. Alright, Helena will be up next. Here comes the training drones. And this will surely be... Goes High Council. Now this is curious. That's going to give 7 reveal here to Helena. That is interesting. Did not expect this. Would have thought she'd be interested in getting involved in this fight. Perhaps Carthag trip, but declines against it. Now, what's the plan here? She only has 7. Worm Riders? The Reverend Mother, maybe? We shall have to see. So Beast is going to possibly look to pay for Mentat and hope to draw. That's no real good, though. No, just going to go Fold Space and secure the Alliance here. Take it down. Obviously, it's never particularly safe when Tezia's in the game, but you know, I think this is reasonable. So we'll take the Alliance. So Beast up to 5 points. Early push into the lead, which is pretty nice, but it's about sustaining it and trying to find where the rest of those points are going to come from. You know, I'd say probably on the face of it, the Beast possibly has the weakest deck going. But we'll see. So does go for the Haga Basin. Conspire play. Does go for it. Finesse here for Tezia. That's really brutal. Can really tie that up with your snoopers super well. So that's always nice. A couple of troops needed for yellow. There we go. But yeah, it does go for the play. Like it feels like about as good a play as you could muster in this turn, but it's just like it still feels awkward. So, you know, we'll see how things progress. So Yuna is going to be up here with her action. All she's got's the dagger. I think you just go tech negotiation here. You need to start buying techs. That's what you've committed to, and you need to start getting to work with that. So what do you get here? Chow Murky. Chow Murky feels nice. Hollow projectors. It's always good, but maybe not too useful at this point. I think you probably just pick up Chow Murky. You can afford it. You do have the card, but she will just take Hollow Project the wind traps for free. -1 from the space, and 1 negotiator. Minimic Film turns up. A huge break for Yuna. Wow, more cheap text for her. That is very fortunate. So Helena has 7. So what is the plan? Was she considering? Did she maybe think for 8 and go full scale? No, didn't. But picked up the Reverend Mother. one of potentially the best cards in the game if you can catch people out, but it does require a bit of stuff. That with Weirding Way is nasty, but not to be. So Beast will reveal for 4 and a bump with the cargo track, which is always pretty good. Jamis turns up, super card, and picks up immediately. Not surprising. Beast being very frugal with their picks, not just picking stuff up because they can. Could have made a couple of liaisons and grabbed them by now, but declining against it. So trying to keep the deck kind of fairly short. Tesia will reveal for a couple. Tesia might well consider picking up a liaison. I don't think that's a bad idea. Tesia can always late game try and pivot in. Gonna play Rapid now. Now this is curious. Goes for it now. Doesn't use it now. Doesn't save it for later. But figures, well, there's a cheap attempt here to take the Mentat and just trade intrigues and get a bit of cash. So decides to play it now. You've got the double daggers. I can get behind it. No one else is committing, so you're gonna take it down. And 4 for Yuna. Now, what do you take here? Gunfopter looks pretty nice. Assassination's risky. I don't think I'd be picking this with you. Your spice is already committed elsewhere. Obviously, the opportunity to get a lot of money, though, is pretty nice on your reveals, as well as when you trash it. But your deck's already, like, 13 cards. I probably wouldn't be putting too much more stuff into it. Gunfopter's always solid. And for someone like Yuna as well, remember how with Final Delivery, how it works? You can use that ring to a city and go and get extra troops in. So I think this makes total sense. That'll be good later on in the game. Landing Rights turns up as the next card. Very highly sought after for the extra transport and the 2 persuasion. So Tesia is going to take this one down. She will take the Mentat automatically next turn. There was a couple of cash and the intrigue. Intrigue as well for Yuna, who will happily take second place here. That's a pretty good reward for just the 1 troop. Does not get the bonus coin, however. It is technically no longer her turn. Alright, so that is going to be all for this round. We'll head on to round 5. Everyone's kind of, there's not been any, apart from like an early Highlanders trip, it's kind of no one's been particularly outrageous in this game. Yuna's kind of slowly sort of setting up here. Beast is ready to start getting sword mastering and kind of start unloading here. Helena's kind of hanging back, building up for a spice deck. Tesia looking very threatening. About to start pinging off various bits and pieces with the sword masters and getting those super tokens going. So we'll kind of see what the plan is. We'll see how people proceed. It's going to be interesting what the next couple of conflicts are. I reckon the next couple of turns are going to be pretty important. Might well decide the game. No one, I'd say, at the moment is looking heavy favorite. Obviously, Beast has 5 points, which is pretty nice, but it's kind of being a little bit singled out. So, Poisoning for Tesia is not too bad. The tiebreaker for Yuna, I don't know. There's worlds where that gives you an extra point, but Chow Murky tech is already up for grabs, so that devalues tiebreaker heavily. More victory points here. Desert Power is the next combat. I think this is always a pretty nice one. You know, the water for both top 2 spots is pretty good. Shock Trooper turns up for Yuna. Might well see her make a trip to wealth here, but the thing is that might well kind of give away the play here. So we'll see how things proceed. It is Helena to go first. Has the Reverend Mother. Probably keeping it for revealing. It is going to be Helena up first. Might be going for Still Suits. Yep, Still Suits it is. Picking up the point, getting the water, getting the couple troops in. That's what you always want to be doing here. Still Suits goes up in value so drastically when you have access to... it goes up so much valuable when you have trading drones because you can use that just to feed you. I didn't spot anything wrong with CJ. All looked pretty fine to me. I might have potentially missed it, but I think all was reasonably well. We have a lag out, so just wait for them to quickly return. Let's see what we got here. So Beast has got diplomacy, space travel. This is the problem here with space travel. Space travel is kind of like, it looks good because it gives you the spacing guild access, and it has a +2 reveal. and it has a draw card, but it's just that, and that's the issue with this card, I think. It looks better than I reckon it is. If you can get it like first turn or something, and you can cycle your deck to get it, great, because obviously you can make the push for trying to get rushing the Spacing Guild Alliance. But now that you've got it, it's just kind of like a 2 influence card. You're never going to use it unless you're going to make multiple trips to Highlines, which I don't think the Beast is going to be doing this game. So it's just kind of it's basically an extra convincing argument you've got now, and that's not necessarily for the best. This will be the going High Council maybe as well. Could do both. I don't know if High Council is too beneficial to the Beast here in this game. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Might well reconsider, but we'll see. Also wants to get hold of Swordmaster before Tesia does. So Tesia already with the Mentat, so that's kind of already done. See what Tesia does here. Tesia going to High Council does not seem outrageous at all. But he's going to go Interstellar first and take that down. Build up that for later on. Unit is up. Unit with tons of cards. So here comes the Wealth play. This is obviously setting up later on. She needs to get some garrison troops, though, is the thing. Obviously, potential for a lot of damage here. With, there's a potential 8 swords on offer here. The fact she pulls both Stormtrooper and Gunfopter is pretty big. Verdant players will notice that she probably has the Imperial Trooper, but won't be seeing the Gunfopter coming. I don't suspect. A research station for Helena. She's looking to be making... this is interesting. Going to be looking to try and cycle. So Helena's definitely going down the Spice Must Flow deck strategy, it seems. Does have 9 in hand, so does manage to pull just enough. Also the Copper Spice. She should probably commit some troops here. Look to get hold of the extra water. Looks like she's going to be making multiple trips to research stations, so this is a good combat for her. But 2, 4, 5, 6, 7... and your 2 for the Council bonus will give her the 9 for the Spice. I would be committing at least a couple of troops here, I imagine. The water's pretty valuable to you. Yeah, you might as well. And does decide to put 2 in. Gonna go for all 3, which is fine. Probably not going to take it down, but we'll see. Beast does have a couple of water. I could definitely see Beast going Hardy Warriors here. You want to secure the Fremen Alliance. You want to get more power for your ring. So I think Hardy Warriors looks pretty tempting, and that is going to be the play here. If you could, your second place basically makes this a water neutral move as well. So this makes total sense. We'll get those stuck in. Tesia is an interesting kind of couple of choices here. Kind of curious to see what the pivot plan is here. You've got Diplomacy, which is good. You can't do a lot with it, though. Your only option available to you, basically, is Secrets currently. So Diplomacy is kind of largely out of value. You have no way of mining either. You have no mining card. So this could be a Poison Snooper here. Try and draw a better card here. I don't really see what else you particularly do. You could play Liaison to pick up the... pick up High Council, but then what do you do? So I think this makes total sense. See what CJ pulls. Picks up the Fopter Water card. What a huge draw for Tesia. That is monstrous. And, wherever you go, if you go here or Great Flat, that is huge. What a massive pull. Wow. Monster draw. Going to get a couple of cards extra drawn, which is really nice for the extra action. Looks like he's going to go up and down here. So there's some tech buying plans as well. Second notch gives an extra bump for the Emperor here, which is always nice. Oh, no, my apologies. Gets a couple of troops garrisoned. My apologies. Picks up Imperial Spy and Convincing Argument. Actually has enough to buy Spice, does Tesia. Takes the Spice as the reward as well. I don't know what's happened here. Like, did he go up and down? Oh, went smuggling. My apologies. Sorry, I was about to... Of course, only one bump here. My apologies. Ignore me, everyone. It's a tough gig when you're on your own. There's a lot to cover. So, interesting choice here for Tesia. Does have enough to buy Spice. Might be considering perhaps selective breeding and recycle, and you'd be pretty unlucky to not draw an influence to buy some spice here. So looks pretty nice here. The unit, of course, wants to get stuck in. Wants to start getting troops committed. Carfag it is. The players should be very worried about this. They should know kind of what's going on here. Does have enough all as well for final delivery. Just enough to buy. So the extra troop, the extra spice, and gets a bump on a track of her choice. Emperor looks pretty likely and does decide to do so. Do you commit both troops here? I think you do. That's 4 strength plus 8 swords. So that gives you a massive total of 12, which feels really good. Tezzy's going to be... I don't think she's going to get involved in this combat, so looks like you're likely to take this down. Looks like it's going to be good. So the 9 for Helena. She will buy her first spice of the game. Needs the points. Has been kind of lagging behind a little bit here. Tezia and Beast kind of threatening to try and run away with this a little bit. So the first spice on the flow of the game. There will be another one. Again, curious to see what Tezia's plan is here. I don't know what the move is. We shall see. Beast is up. It's just going to go fold space. Looks like it's just going to go fold space. Try and secure the alliance. You know, get the card draw. Get the fold space. I guess this is fine. If you're not interested in buying anything this turn, I'm not against this. You could have revealed and taken landing rights, though. And just revealed there. Maybe that might have been the better play. But declines against it. Picks up Spice Smugglers, which he won't complain about. It's an extra sword. So that's going to feel good there. Going to feel good. So Tezia has 9. Is this an Arakeen play? Ooh, a little risky. Ooh, it's okay. Yeah, there's still a couple. Both daggers still in the deck there. Either one of those would have been pretty bad. Also commits troops. Looks like she's going to look to take this down as well. Tezia going full aggression. Everyone committing here. Unit still has another turn. Wow. It's not really a lot you can do here. Maybe this is a poison snooper time. So if you want to take an action, I think you got to snoop. You need to leave shock and gunfopter in your reveal, and Doom does nothing. So I think if you're gonna take an extra action, you need to poison snoop now and see what you muster. You could also even consider trading your Sonic Snoopers out, but looks like she's just gonna take the spice, which I guess is fine. But you're not committing any more. I don't know. I feel would have liked to have seen the snooper there. Feels like just a bit of a sharper play. If it's something you don't want, you can always trash it as well. This is okay, but it feels a little inaccurate. A couple of swords for the Beast will take him up to 10. That will make him feel happy about his life. But he's going to get some bad news. Tezia's going to get up to 7. Tezia's going to have... she's going to have just enough she wants to pay for it. Picks up the spice. Up to 5 here. This is looking dangerous. Looking very dangerous currently is Tezia. Princess is going to reveal for 8 swords. Which is huge. So if Tezia wants to win this fight, she can, but it's going to cost her both cards. And Finesse is so nice to be able to use to manipulate the influence to get your tokens off. I don't know if she wants to use them both. And then tiebreakers with unit anyway, so I've no idea what's going to happen here. Tezia might fully commit and get denied by Yuna. Tezia may not even bother. Private Army seems likely. It's whether you use Finesse. It feels like Tezia has set up Private Army here, but Private Army is only a tie. This is a tough call. I don't know what you do here. Assassination for Yuna. Wants to get the money going, of course. I think that's fine. What do you do here as Tezia? Do you just give it up? Currently, you get nothing for this one. You're tied with red. You get zilch for this. You feel probably forced to play Private Army. Deny the point. This is a tough call. It's not a nice spot to be in. You feel like if you're playing one, you've probably got to play both. You probably want to say Finesse. Does play Private Army, so it's going to look to make the tie. Is the tie good enough? Do you play both? Are you happy with that? Gonna go for that. So, tiebreaker for Yuna. And now Tezia's gonna have to use and burn finesse in order to tie this one, which is kind of where you're committed here. Feels kind of bad. But you probably have to. Like, you've committed for this. It's awkward. I don't know. There are arguments to say you keep hold of finesse and argue it might be more valuable elsewhere. Looks like is he declining? He is declining. Figures there's more value of keeping hold of finesse, which there probably is. So that is going to be out. So 2 water for Yuna in the point. Remember, she has wind traps, so picks up the 2 water. That is huge for her in order to look to try and make a play for Great Flat or maybe even Research Station. That is really, really good. Or even trips the Hardy Warriors. Does need to get access to the Fremen Alliance and get some influence going there. So, interesting fight. I think everyone played that pretty well. A little unfortunate maybe for Tezia, but probably made the right call in the end. Okay, it is turn 6. More points available for combat. It is terrible purpose. Wow, all the points for combat unavailable here. That's kind of insane. So, Beast is up first. Beast has his ring. No way secure alliance, however, has no way. Ooh, this is awkward. You're gonna have to use your ring to go to Interstellar, I reckon, here, and pick up your Fremen Alliance that way. I think that's where this is going. Do you guys go down and up? Is Beast interested in tech? I don't think Beast is interested in tech, so it's going to take the spice. You want to take your bump with the Fremen, and obviously secure the Alliance and the water. That gives an extra couple of garrison troops. That's going to be 5 in garrison, which is pretty nice. Yeah, ring ability as well. There we go. As commentators, the way I've decreed for this tournament, we will not get involved with rule queries, but we'll kind of just keep an eye and make sure everything is kind of, people aren't missing stuff that's necessarily kind of things, just make sure everything's tied on nicely. Oil the gears. That's kind of the play here. So Yuna, of course, has a gob of cash here. It is turn 6. Turn 6 is always the awkward one for Swordmaster, whether it's really that valuable to go for. You probably have to. Helena also does not have Swordmaster either, which is very interesting to note. But she looks like she's going to get it. I think you probably pick up Swordmaster here. What else are you doing with your cash? Not a lot. You've got a kind of an awkward hand, but it's going to play Fufia. Fufia does not have Swordmaster access, so maybe it's going to pick up later. Double daggers, Signet Ring. Once obviously get more tokens going here, but what do you do here? Like, Hardy Warriors? Feels awkward. Signet Ring, also awkward at the moment to use Signet Ring because you're having to give up points elsewhere. You don't have a lot of influence. I mean, we're 5 turns in, and ultimately Tezia only has 5 influence bumps for the various factions here, which is not a lot to play with for Signet Ring. Tezia, you want to kind of like, in theory, like just accelerate through an alliance, get a big buffer, and then use that to play with your Signet Ring. We're going to decline here. Now, this is interesting. Readying up for another Highliner trip? If she goes down with the Spacing Guild, this feels like a pretty much kind of, pretty much suggesting I'm going to go Highliners here. It feels very obvious, though. And people are going to be ready for that, and they're going to prepare for that here. Yuna, I've just noticed, picks up a firm grip here and has access to wealth. That is enormous for her. Yeah, it's like you. One of the dark arts of this game is trying to conceal your plans, and this just feels so obvious. Unless the only way you could hide it is you go up with Fremen here, and then you immediately drop it back with finesse, and you use that to kind of try and conceal what's going on. Obviously, picks up the bonus bump here with the track here. The idea for Tezia is she wants to make a late race for the Bene Gesserit Alliance. That's the play here. But I would be tempted to play finesse here and kind of try and throw them off, but I guess, I don't know. This will be interesting to see what the plans might go selective breeding anyways, and look to use finesse to accelerate up that. So we'll see. This is going to be surely a trip to at least wealth, if not conspire. Conspire it is, which makes total sense. So that is 6 Solari for Una. We'll spend 2 for a bump somewhere, possibly Bene Gesserit, I would imagine. Seems like a good idea. Doesn't have the alliance yet, of course, so no point revealing. So where do you play it for? Bene Gesserit looks pretty good. Seems the obvious pick here. Spacing does nothing. Fremen, like, you need to catch up with that at some point, but there's no rush. So Bene Gesserit seems the obvious pick there. Couple of troops, gets the intrigue as well, picks up Strong Arm. That's a big card. She could play that immediately and take the alliance, but we'll hold on to do so. Strong Arm must be played on the turn. There you do it. So that is a very nice steal sort of action. That would be nice for Tesia. Doesn't get it. Helena going to Secrets. Now this is interesting. Doesn't go selective breeding. Gonna look to save the spice here. Picks up Diversion. No good for her. That is a pretty bad card for Helena. Diversion, I think, is hard to pull off anyways, but Helena is not going shipping this game at all. So that's a pretty regretful pull for her. Feels bad. We've not seen any endgame cards turn up either, and we're through about like 20% of the deck here. If you want to call that an endgame card, I guess you can, but... Right, Beast is going to start getting troops in here. No doubt about that. Gonna go out of key here instead of Carthag. Now, that's curious. I think I would have probably gone Carthag here. Interested in the card draw, I suppose. The argument is, what's your third card going to be here? So I guess I get it. Picks up Diplomacy, big card. Hardy Warriors looking pretty tasty. Steel Suits looking pretty good. Mentat first. She's going to get hold of the extra card draw. Picks up Imperial Spy, which is pretty nice. Could be some racing here for the Alliance. Oh, Una might regret now. This could go bad. You've got to be careful. Whenever there's a Tesia in play, you've always got to be careful about, with your alliances here and making sure that here you want to have a lot of space here. Leaving them tight like that, very dangerous when there's a Tesia about. They can always be taken before you can even react and encounter it, even if you wanted to or not. So this is a little dangerous here. Una is up. I could see Una considering forward space in a wealth. It's not outrageous, but you're gambling on whatever your next card's going to be. Poison Snooper's still in hand. Has not used it yet. This, again, might be a good chance to make the call for it. You want to get some city access here. With the 2 swords, you probably want to fight. You also want to be looking to make a trip up to tech negotiation. You've got to fund your Ixian Engineer, who is still in this deck somewhere. He has not... I don't believe he was revealed in the initial... the previous turn, so you want to make sure you get that third tech so you can get the reveal, get the point for the engineer. Fold space is going to be first, though. And Hardy Warriors it is. I like this. You need to start getting access to the Fremen. You got to get those 2 trips. This looks pretty good. Hardy Warriors lets you get some troops in. Might even Strong Arm here just to get Fremen over and done with. But should probably keep that in case of some pinching. But he's going to Strong Arm now. Again, it's like, it means you don't have to worry about Fremen again. And it's done. But I don't know. I mean, this could work out in Tesia's favour here. Problem is, you're just doing this just to secure the point for him. You can come here later on. Like, you're going to get a chance to come here again. That could be basically a way to counter an alliance still and secure it. So, playing risky. And Tesia, she is the opportunist. Might well backfire that. We'll have to see. Helena is going to be up here. Curious to see what Helena's play is going to be here. Voice, she's had voice, but has yet to actually play it for the card. Just been keeping hold of it. Tech negotiation is. Hollow projectors looks pretty good. Mimic also, if she's going for a spice run, seems a fairly likely choice. And Mimic, it's going to be here with Worm Riders on the side. So that seems pretty reasonable. So that's a guaranteed free reveal for Helena every game. Detonation devices are next tech up here. No one's really gone down Dreadnoughts here. I thought Beast might consider it. And there are worlds where Beast might even go Dreadnought, but I don't think this is going to be... This doesn't look like this is going to be that kind of game, sadly. So that's probably just going to sit there and kill the deck. Diplomacy up. Ooh, oh, Diplomacy into fold space. I mean, I feels very unnecessary. You need to start going Emperor anyway, so pick up the points there. That does hinder Tesia. Tesia probably had intentions to actually go to go Emperor there, and that has been thwarted somewhat by accident. So, Swordmaster it is. Imperial Spy does not allow infiltration. Court Intrigue does. So it's a little unlucky for Tesia there that you've been blocked out by the Beast there, kind of by accident. I think Imperial Spy was incoming, but and then Finesse was going to be used for the steal. But that is not going to be the option now, so a little unfortunate. Curious to see what the plan is now for Tesia. That might re-rate things, might feel compelled to go Highliner again. You sacrificed the point there, of course. So you could definitely argue you want to get that point back some point, if you'll pardon the slight pun. Could also go for Bene Gesserit here. Go selective breeding, use finesse. That's 3 bumps in the Bene Gesserit. 1 for the trip, 1 for finesse, and 1 for the bonus here. You probably drop Fremen, I would imagine, because you're targeting Emperor as well. But Beast is your biggest competitor at the moment, and you kind of feel compared. To be fair, though, it's all very tight here. You know, Beast is on 6, everyone else on 5 points. So it's a pretty close game, this. So it's all about getting those little minutiae plays correct here. Accuracy is going to be key. Not just about making the right plays, it's about getting the timing down. And that can be tough. Again, Tesia, I think was pretty much prepared for an alliance pinch of the Emperor, but was thwarted. We'll be able to possibly do it next time. We'll see. X Engineer incoming. So, looks like this is going to be, what? Haga Basin? Imperial Basin? Smuggling? I think that's the wrong card. This is the problem. I think you probably should have considered getting hold of the tech now. But now you've drawn it. It's kind of awkward. Looks like there's a wait here. So, that's kind of the situation. Alright, looks like there's a little mid-game break here, so it's a little bit awkward. I think that is, yeah, it's kind of where you're at here. But again, there's been some interesting plays so far, you know. I would have liked to have seen Yuna use fold space to go tech negotiating while she still couldn't get hold of those cheap techs. You knew Ixion deck was somewhere in here, Ixion Engineer, and you want to get that point done. The problem is you don't pick up the Engineer point now, you've got to cycle through your deck again, and you've got 15 cards, and you don't know when that's going to turn up again. And that's a problem. So I would say, again, maybe a little inaccurate, perhaps. Perhaps being a little bit, a little harsh, maybe. Of course, we have the omniscience. We can see the entire table here. So it always kind of helps in that. But it's hard to know. It's hard to know. Anyways, we're going to take a quick break here. So we'll jump cut to the action. Alright, looks like gameplay about to resume here. So Yuna is going to use Ixion Engineer as was planned. She's, I guess, going Imperial Basin. But there's no tech she can buy. This is a problem for Yuna. She can't buy any techs. There's nothing cheap enough, so just kind of using it to go smuggling here, I guess. Does want the cash, of course, which is pretty handy. Yeah, and that's, of course, the channel that CJ's video will be going up on. So, going to take the smuggling here for the couple of coins. Prepping up for next turn, basically. But, I don't know, this is a little awkward, this, for Yuna. Like, potentially it has the potential of having a really, really strong endgame here, but just needs to find the right moves. So, Helena is going to declare she does have enough for the second Spiceman's Flow. If she could find a Call the Market, that would be enormous for the end game, but again, not really making any city trips anymore, so no real potential to pick up those intrigues. They could do a lot of good for her, so regardless, that is 0.6 for Helena here. She's got to be a little bit careful as well. The spice cards are going to start filling up her deck here, making buying spice trickier as she goes. That's the one downside to this strategy. She does have trash abilities, though, however, so she might just look to trash the card back out of her deck. 6 to buy for the Beast. Picks up the Siege Reverend Mother. A very nice card if you can get the Throne Bond going. Worm Riders is dead. That was just yeeted into oblivion. Second Smuggler's Fopter turns up. Wow. That's pretty nuts. Tezia's still with a turn here. So Fifth is still in the hand. Obviously, as we mentioned, the Emperor's Steel Plate has been thwarted by kind of accident. So I be honest, I like going selective breeding here. Trashing out one of your daggers. You're going to get a load of card draw, and then you can use Finesse to get up 3 bumps if you want. With Select It for the Bene Gesserit. Basically, you have first turn, next action. So I like this a lot. Or do you go Highliner? I don't know. You've got Highliner once. I don't know if I like going there again. You got to think about what you want to be looking to do beginning of next turn. And you want to be fighting for alliances here. You can't compete. Yeah, this just feels the better play. I think this is the right call. So she gets 1. This just feels better. Gets 3 cards to draw here. Oh, a little unlucky to pick up Diplomacy. A little unlucky, so that's a little unfortunate there. Finesse comes in now to come to make the pick for the 4th Snooper token. So gains an extra bump as well as a bonus intrigue. So a bit of a cycle there. That is all Snooper tokens gone, so her Signet Ring is now there. Oh my goodness! Call of the Market! Wow, Helena! That's unlucky. There it was. We were just talking about Call of the Market. It's a huge card. That's big for Tezia as well. Basically, she buys a spice. It's double points. That's pretty big. Yuna is going to have the 8 swords here. Yuna's going to take this one down. Going to pick up Terrible Purpose. That's a nice pickup for her. That 6 points going to be big. This is super close. Everyone's going to be on 6 points here. Coming into the conflict freeze. This is super, super close. I mean, who looks favorite here? I guess possibly Tezia is a slight favorite, but depends what the combat is. Like, Beast has plenty of has some garrison forces here. Second Fopter for Tezia. Would you take landing rights? Tough call. I think whatever you do, you pick up a liaison with it, and you start thinking of spice here. I think you've already got 1 Fopter. Is 2 good for you? I think you probably take the Fopter still, just for the card draw. It's a tough one. Landing rights, you're not going to get a lot of value out of. I don't think. Now it's like turn 7. Those 2 card draws for the Fopter could make the difference between getting a Spice Must Flow point and not. I think the Fopter is the better call. It's a tough choice. It feels a pretty big decision to make here. But I just feel that's the way to go. Takes Smuggling Guild, smuggling rights. Kwisatz appears. It's a bit little late for him, however. I don't think anyone will be picking up in turn 7. A little late for Kwisatz Haderach. And of course the liaison pickup as well, as we had suggested. So that is going to be combat here. Nothing for the Beast. So Yuna is going to pick up her 6th point here. That is super big for her. And everyone is pretty much level. The standings as they stand. Tezzy technically in the lead with 4 spice. Although no, of course Beast gets the resource. So Beast technically leading as we go into conflict free here on a Solari tiebreak. Tesia, Helena, and then Yuna. But it is anyone's game here. So here we go. Conflict 7. It is economic supremacy. One of the most interesting combats in the game. Beast is going to be licking his chops here, thinking, I'm in business. Has the ability to take first place and get hold of both sets of resources. So this is going to be fascinating. Not the best combat, I suppose, for Helena. But getting second place to get the point is also pretty reasonable. So we'll see how we go here. So this is going to be fascinating. Now, the only problem with calling the market as well for Tez, it means she can't trash the Spiceless Flow cards. The issue being that if she does, it doesn't count. Calling the market pays attention to how many actual cards you have in your deck, not how many times you got hold of a spice point. So there is a significant difference. Oh, that's the trash from the previous game, previous turn. So picks up the points there. All right, Tezier's up first. So Smuggler's Fopter looks fairly standard here. Loads of swords for the beast. Picks up Jamis, Fold Space, Daggers. Man, there's a lot of good cards here. Wow. Okay, goes Arakeen first. Wants the card draw. Picks up a Liaison. That's probably not the card she was looking for. A little unfortunate there. Well, we'll see how things progress. Alright, Yuna has hold of these shock troopers, but nowhere to get there. This is an awkward hand for Yuna. I feel like you have to go interstellar shipping here. How do you not go that first up here? Feels automatic. She doesn't! Oh my goodness! Gonna go research station first. Now, this is interesting. Oh, Ixie Engineer turns up, but still no way to buy any techs. But if you'd have gone to Interstellar, could have gone up and down, buy spice and pick up like horror projectors, and that gives you the Ixian trash. Ooh, that could be a mistake. Could be a problem here. I don't think she's going to get a second attempt at this. Beast surely's going there. But Beast only can go there with fold space and probably wants to use that on something else. I don't know. This is going to be very interesting. Beast might feel compelled to go for Mentat first. I don't know. It's very tricky to know what the plan is here. Spicy for Helena. Probably wants to get the troops in. Helena wants to try and maybe find a way to get second, perhaps. Doesn't use holo projectors, though. So just kind of keep it on hold. Maybe there's a trip to... I don't know what. Conspiring looks like could be an option here. We shall see. Tesia picking up a coin for her Arakeen trip. So what does the beast do here? This is very fascinating. In Stella's Open, you have to use your fold space for it, which doesn't leave you the best of choices. Yeah, they defo. I'm pretty sure they did miss the Solari there. So you've got your smugglers as well, which is nice, I guess, but it doesn't really do you a lot now. Spice Smugglers is kind of just sitting there as kind of access and a sword here. Jamis you want to leave till later. You will probably want to get one of your daggers down in play for something, and then you want to trash it probably. Beast has a big deck, 16 cards. Pretty chunky. So this is tough. This is tough for the Beast. The thing is, you want to try and find a win, but not spend any Spice or Solari in doing so. That's a tough ask. That's a very tough ask here. I think it's generally pretty hard to get hold of all 3 points from Economic Supremacy. You typically, if you're going to win, you can get 2. Securing all 3 is very difficult. So, Beast has kind of got to decide here. This is where you can get greedy here as well. And this is why this is such a fascinating combat. It's not just about beating your opponents. There's a lot of strategy that comes into this. You've got to decide how much are you willing to gamble here. Fold space to Interstellar just looks too appealing. But he's not. He's going to go to Hardy Warriors. He's going to get greedy for the win. Oh, wow. Yuna is somehow going to find her way to this. She's going to find somehow a way to go to still pick up Interstellar. I do not believe it. Beast is going to go for the 3 points. This is pretty awesome. And who can stop, though? That's a question. Freighter fleet pickup for the Beast. It's not amazing for him, but he has no way of going to smuggling, so it's not a good card for him. Very awkward access for him here. Might end up using it to go like Hager Basin or something and just pick up the spice. We'll have to see. Tap for Tezia. Tezia's going to kind of be circumspect, kind of see what's going down. Picks up Convincing. Another kind of maybe awkward pick. We'll see. Picking up the spice, though. The influence for spice, so maybe Smuggler's Fopter just to get the spice. Looks like it's going to be probably the play here. Yuna surely has to go into Stellar here. But she's looking at wealth. And obviously wants to get action for that, but you've got to secure this first. Now, you've got to go up and down, and does decide to do so. So it's going to be Spice and the -2 to pick up. Probably Hollow Projectors. You could get Chow Murky and spend a lot for it. That's not outrageous. There's an argument you do. With a game this close, that could be a couple of points here. What do you pick up? Which one do you take? Is going for Chow Murky. I like it. I like it a lot. It's such a tight game. Troop Transports turns up for our next tech. Very powerful, very popular. But probably a bit late for it here. Recruitment Mission picks up for Yuna. As well as War Chest. Oh, that's awkward. That kind of, if you want that point, that kills your ring a bit. It's a little unlucky. But I don't know. You could argue other way that she's pretty good for that. So that's pretty nice. So we'll get the point for Ixon Engineer finally. On the reveal here. Takes the bump with the Bene Gesserit. This is, here we go. I don't think there's worlds where Yuna wins this game this turn. Doesn't seem likely. But who knows? Maybe she goes, like, Steel Suits, perhaps, and gets some troops in, and who knows? Some crazy stuff could occur here. Sense of breeding for Helena, obviously just going Spice now. That's pretty much where we're at here. That is the statement. Gonna trash the Spice cards. Doesn't have thingy. They do not go in there. They go back into the reserve supply. All 3 cards here, when they are trashed or removed from the game, go back into the reserve. They are not removed out of the game. Doing the counting here. And Helena has just enough for the Spiceless Flow. Only just. Only just. 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we'll use the Hollow Projectors to get the troop in. So Beast needs to go to war here. Beast is going to do what he can to win this and take all 3 points. Carfag is going to come there. He's not going to spend for the Spice Smugglers. There's no point. Just getting troops in. Going up to take this down. Looks like he's probably going to. Bypass Protocol. A little bit late for that. Nothing too really advantageous for him to take here. That's kind of a bit of a dead card. Not a lot of use to him. A bit of a shame. So, Beast threatening to accelerate here. Helena picking up points. Yuna suddenly looking pretty dangerous here. Tezia now the one who has to try and find some responses. Tezia, of course, interested in the 2nd place point. Gonna put them in. This is probably just gonna be 3rd place, though. Yuna surely commits somehow. Steel Suits looks pretty good. You've only got like faction access and your Dune and that thing here. So it looks like Steel Suits is pretty much forced unless you play Poison Snoopers. I don't see what else you've got here. Surely you've got to get involved in this combat. That victory point is huge here. Snooper it is. This looks good. Finally plays it. Had a few chances to play it. Picks up... Oh, picks up the dagger. That is unfortunate. Dagger will be trashed. I don't know. I think at this point, I probably just keep it for the extra sword, but whatever. It's probably not going to make a big difference. We're on turn 7. Depends how long you think the game's going to go. So, steel suits it is. I don't see what else you've got here. Wow. Did not expect that. I mean, needs to secure it as well, I guess. Wow, just giving Tesia the point. Your first axe next turn. We'll see. We shall see if that was the right decision. Gearing up basically for next turn. Next turn basically is I'm going to file delivery and just get troops in. And I need to find a point from somewhere. I need to find some points so I can pay for War Chest. Does this game go beyond into a ninth round? I don't think so. Here comes the No, you can't you can't do that. No. You can't. While Jamis, the infiltration lets you go into spaces that enemies visit, you cannot revisit your own spaces. That is not allowed. That is not how that works. So he could use that to go steel suits if he wanted. But no, you cannot use it for that. So I would probably just use a dagger here. Like, looks like you've got this one on lock. I'd probably just go to... I don't know what you want to do. Depends what you want to do here. You could just go High Council and just spend the money. Doesn't feel too bad. True transports you're probably not going to get any use out of here. Well, you might. There's possible worlds where you get troop transports and you pick up smuggling next turn. It's actually not impossible that you do. That's actually not a bad shout, I reckon. Or you go High Council. But High Council doesn't feel like it does very much now at this point. So I reckon if you're going to do anything, troop transports, is a sword going to make a big difference in this combat? I don't think so. Tesia's still to act here. If you're going to use this for smuggling, like, you might as well just go get troop transports. Just go straight for the reveal. Wants to bank the swords here. I don't know. I feel like you probably could have got away a little bit. I mean, Tesia does have an intrigue, which makes it a little trickier and can spook you a bit. It depends. Basically, it depends if Yuna is going to go to... if Yuna goes to Interstellar or not next turn. That's basically what it comes down to. If she doesn't, then this is genius. Because you go up and down, you pick up troop transports. But looks like just going to bank the... To be fair, this is 3 points. So I can understand this. Want to just give every chance to just make sure you win this. So I can't necessarily blame here. Tesia's got basically a free action to do whatever she wants. We'll pick up the spice. So threatening Highliners next turn. Definitely on the cards. Interesting they went for Dune here. And played Dune, but not the Thopter. So gonna pick up the extra spice here. Of course, the spice all plays matters for tiebreakers here. So Ixion Engineer gets trashed for the point here. Takes the unit up to 9. So unit looking not bad here, but it's all very tight here. Beast is going to be up at 9. Tesia's going to be at 7. Tesia needs to find an extra spices flow for corner of the market. Helena is sitting around on 7, kind of hanging around. So this is going to be very curious to see what the next combat is. If it's like Battle of Carvag or something, there's going to be an absolute fight. Thopter for Yuna makes sense. Don't necessarily going to get any value out of it now, but I guess at least you're there. Also picks up a liaison. I mean, just throwing cards at the deck. It's not a big deck, so it's not too bad. But obviously, interested in keeping the cash together for the war chest later on. So 2 more spice for Tesia. Plenty of spice here, which will help in tie breaks. I think you just pick up Charney for the water. if you can afford it, which you can't, so nothing to buy. Imperium Rome's kind of pretty dead here. Don't think anyone's going to get anything else from it, so that's going to be all for this one. So, a point for Tesia, 3 points for the Beast, if he wishes to take them all, which surely he will. Use up all his resources, though. He is spent. So, the problem with the Beast here, he gets 3 points here, which of course is enormous. What's his next play, though? I guess he's perhaps eyeing up maybe a research station? I don't know. There's some points he's got to pick up. He needs to make a trip to the Emperor to pick up the 10th point. So maybe he's going to hope just to draw that and rock and roll there. We shall see. So, going into turn 8. Yuna is leading with 9 points on the Solari tiebreaker. The Beast also on 9. Tesia third on 7 with a Spice tiebreaker over Helena. Here we go. Fold space pickup for the Beast. That's pretty big. Jamis again picks up. Wow. Grand Vision is the combat, so potential alliance stealing here. Bene Gesserit is going to be highly competitive here. This is pretty big. Iron Grip turns up again. Wow, that's pretty brutal for Yuna. That's pretty nice. Has Gunfoctor as well. That's pretty good. A lot of nice options here. Sonic Snoopers can now also be trashed if she ever wants to. X Engine has been removed, so it doesn't have to keep hold of the Snoopers anymore. Those can be spent. Doesn't lose the point. She already got it. This is where it's tricky now for Yuna. That you've got phone delivery, you want to use that, but you've also got to find some cash somewhere. This is a little awkward for Yuna here. I don't know what your best play is. Like, Phone Grip looks nice, but you've already got all your points for influence, so I guess you just keep hold of it. And maybe there's a world you get Spice somehow? I don't know how you find the extra stuff, though. Considering playing it is going to do so. I guess he's just going to go Mentat? Wow, just taking the extra cash. And he's going to take it, will not play the ability. So that should be signaling warning signs here. People are going to be a little bit suspicious. And that's the thing in this game. When you make suspicious plays... So, I'm guessing the idea for Yuna is she's going to... Ooh, what's going on here? I don't know. I wouldn't pay this. I don't think I'd bother. If anything, you keep hold of the cash and you, like, signet ring to, like, smuggling or something. And use the signet ring to bump. I don't know. She's gonna do it regardless. Put the pressure on. It's gonna be interesting. The kind of forces Helena's hands here. Helena now has to go selective breeding. Basically forced. Has to trash a card, so she'll trash the Spice card here, I would imagine. There it goes. So that'll be off to the reserves. We'll pick up the Intrigue. Picks up Blackmail. Never bad, but probably not too useful in this game. So Spice is on for Helena here. So that's going to take it to 9. Needs to find another point from somewhere, though, and I'm struggling to see where you're going to make that up. Unless you try and win in Grand Vision to the Spacing Guild. It's the only thing I see. But you can't blackmail for it, though. So Beast's going to go Secrets here. Oh, picks up Machine Culture. That would have been huge for Yuna. I don't know if Yuna was going Carfag, though. Kind of unfortunate if she was. That's quite a pinch. Tessie's basically pinched Helena's card. Beast has pinched Yuna's. It's kind of, again, though, for Beast, it's another dead card. He's not doing anything with that. So, it's very unfortunate. So here comes the Highliners, as was threatened. So, what does Tesia do with the influence here? She's going to basically challenge Bene Gesserit. That's basically where we're at here. So, is he going to take the point back? Takes him up to 8. Man, this is very close. We've had some games and tournaments that have been kind of blowout-ish, but this is like one of the tightest contests we've had, like, since we've started doing these tournaments. This is super close. Anyone could win this. Tezia still needs to find a point for Call of the Market, though. And I don't see how she's going to do it. Has a card draw here for Fufia. I don't think they've taken it. I'm probably not going to get involved here at this point now. Being brutally honest here. Like, we're at the back end of the game. This is all very tight, very important. So, probably going to stay out of this one for now. Players going to have to sort out themselves. So close, this. So, Yuna kind of wants to bump with Signet Ring, but can't really do it. Instead of shipping still available. Man. Argument is you Interstellar and you just go up and down and take the cash and take the bump, and that's exactly what's happening here. That is exactly the play. So she's going to take the 6 Solari, surely. Yep, cash being taken, takes up to 20. Then we'll pay for the ring. So basically 1 Solari for a bump, a troop, and a spice. It's the bump she's after. Wow, still challenging. Still challenging here, putting pressure on Helena. Now, this is fancy. She's banking on Gunfopter here being a big backup here. That's the plan. Wants to get some troops in otherwise, though. This is now tricky for Helena. Being asked the question. Being asked the question, what do you want to do here? Currently 12 persuasion for Helena, so she's in no danger of getting this extra spice. But her alliance is in absolute jeopardy. She loses a Bene Gesserit alliance, like, she's out of this game. No question about that. Kind of needs to win somehow to try and get Grand Vision to kick off here, but I don't see how you manage that. Tough spot for Helena. What do you do here? Mother Miriam might as well keep hold of, I guess. Wow, what a tough spot here. What looks good? You've no water. Do you just start throwing troops into the cities? You got training drones. Is there a way you can find an extra influence somewhere to use blackmail? It doesn't look it's on. Blackmail is just kind of dead at the moment. Very tough spot. There's an argument you go Arakeen here for the card draw and hope you get something that lets you get to a different space here. Gonna voice it. Gonna go with the voice. Arakeen or Carthag. Carthag it is. So gonna be a bit more aggressive. So it's gonna be 4 troops in. This is all very big card draws now. What's the intrigue? Picks up, glimpse the path. That's not bad. It's an extra card draw. That's not a bad pick for it at all. That could be crucial here. The extra water is never a bad thing either. It gives options. Man, very tight this. Players in the tank here for these turns. You can understand. And this feels a big choice as well. What do you block here? What looks crippling? What do you think people are going to do? That's the question. Do you just block cities? You could block Research Station. Blocking Research Station feels probably the best play here. What else do you bother blocking? I think you block Research Station. But then people can just go to it next turn. This is the problem with the voice. When you've not got your Swordmaster and everyone else does, voice loses a ton of power. This is why it's so strong early. Yeah. It's just kind of awkward because wherever you put it down is basically people could just go there later. So that's kind of it's awkward. So voice loses a lot of value now, sadly. That is the issue. Beast is going to smuggle. use that to take the point, I guess, for get the bump with the Emperor. So puts him up to 10 points. So it looks like this is going to be final turn of the game. 10 points is all he's got, though. This is going to come down to tiebreakers. Can Yuna find the 10th point? She has it currently with War Chest. Can Beast find an 11th? Wow. If Beast can win the combat, he gets to 11 with Bene Gesserit. This is super close. Nothing for Machine Culture. It doesn't do anything for him here. Now, I would have been interested, actually. What I maybe would have considered doing is use Machine Culture to buy troop transports just to get the dudes in. And just try and hope you somehow win, but I don't know how it's going to happen. Yuna going for the Mentat makes sense. Gunfopter, kind of in hand here. They've got to suspect that Gunfopter is probably in play. But Yuna can't win this. It doesn't look it's on. Says he's probably taking this down here. The reveal for Helena obviously picks up the spice. That's another one. Wow, what a weird spot this is about to be. Maybe there is an argument here that Helena might well blackmail in the hopes to win and get it right back. There is an argument that says she does that. It's a huge commitment to blackmail here. If you blackmail and you don't win, you burn your game up. So, that's a tough call. Too late to use Glimpse of the Path. Surprised didn't just use it, but whatever. And picking up the spice. Picking up the spice is the beast. Surely you just use Machine Culture here. And I don't know what you do with it now, though. There's not a lot to do. It's just building up spice for tiebreakers. This is so close. Everyone's bearing in mind tiebreakers here. It's really important. I mean, it's last turn. Like, you just get them in here, right? Is he worried it's not going to be last turn? Don't know. Don't think it really matters here. And picks up the card draw, picks up the dagger. Ugh. No good for him. I mean, it's a sword, I guess. Sword's a sword. Tezia here. Looks like the combat... He's in trouble here, potentially. Helena might steal this. Tezia needs to win this combat. It's absolutely crucial she does. She gets the point for Tezia. Gets the point from Helena for the steal. Has 7 on reveal. Doesn't have enough for spice. I don't think there's a way to get spice here. CJ's in all sorts of trouble. Has he got any moves? I don't think he does. This is terrible. Oh, this is bad news for CJ. I don't know what he does here. There's kind of nothing to do. Everything's kind of gone. Do you just go steel suits to stop anyone else going there? I guess that's all you've got. You got 12 strength and that's it. What else do you have? There's nothing. No water. You can't go hang a basin for the spice. Tech negotiation, not enough. The only gamble you take... Here's a play, folks. Do you gamble tech negotiation, you pick up the holo projectors, and you use it on, like, diplomacy or Dune or something, and just hope you get a 2 influence draw? I think he's looking at it. I think that's what he's considering here. I don't see what else you do. You've got to find that spice. It's double points of corner of the market. I don't see what else you have here. You play the dagger, gets you up to 8 influence, and you just trade out one of your cards and hope you hit like a liaison or something, or your other convincing argument. It's in there. There's a couple of cards, liaisons, 2 liaisons, the convincing. He sees it. He sees the play. It's a coin flip, basically, this. It's a huge coin flip. Here we go. Does he get it? Does he draw it now? Is he going to make us wait? Oh, he's going to make us wait. So cruel. So cruel. Oh, man. It's a coin flip, basically. So the way it works, so he's going to trigger one of these out. So he has 1, 2, 3 cards out of 8 that gets him the spice and double points. Sonic Snoop being played. Going to get rid of Recruitment Mission, which is fine. Doesn't do anything here, so that's going to be trashed. It's a free interchange. That will be removed. Get on a Private Army. No good. Well, actually, no. Change that. That's actually potentially huge. Dune goes to the base and gets a couple troops in, and Gunfopter and Private Army. And Una could steal the Bene Gesserit Alliance. Oh my gosh. I mean, think of it. It's at 4 strength. Gunfopter makes it 9. Private Army makes it 14. Oh, this is a turn. This is drama. Oh my goodness. Wow, this is going to be pretty insane. Helena's going to have to blackmail. I don't know how the math works out here. We'll have to see. I think you're just going to steal it. Oh my gosh. Back to the Beast here. Beast is, I think he's got 10, but his 10's looking dicey. I don't know if it's going to be enough to hold here. It all comes down to holo projectors. This is like one of the biggest holo projectors you'll ever see. This possibly decides the game. Here we go. Doesn't matter which one he gets rid of. It's 3 out of 8. 37% of the time. You win 100% of the time. Here we go. And... gets it! He hits it! It's a jackpot! Oh my god! Wow. That's double points. Easy game. Easy game. Wow, so that's 10 with endgame. Thinks they're still in the lead, though. I mean, this is still anyone's game. Gets a sword. Let's make sure we get this right here. Oh my gosh, but Unit's gonna pinch us, I think? Oh my gosh. Helena's lucky. She's gonna see the bad news before she plays blackmail. She's gonna see it. Little unfortunate here. And you can put the extra troop out. Whoa, no! What do you mean she's not putting extra out? What's she doing? Oh no, Una! Una, no! No, 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 no! Oh no! Una Moritani, no! What have you done? She's gonna have to play War Chest to take the point instead, which defeats itself. Unless I've got this wrong. Helena has to blackmail here, right? Oh, this is tragic. And then Una could end up War Chest. They're going to cost themselves the game. But Una has Chow Murky. Oh my gosh. Is this going to be a Chow Murky win? We can have a 4-way tie at 10 points. Tezia gets one for Call the Market. Una's getting one regardless. Here comes blackmail. Oh, it's so brutal. You have to do it. You feel you've got to do it for the win. And Una's going to rip the heart out. Oh, no. Alliance goes to Una currently. Expecting the win. Oh, no. Oh, this is so tragic for Helena. This is so brutal. She's gonna make the play. This is heartbreaking. Una doesn't even benefit from winning, other than it just keeps the alliance. I don't think it really matters. I think Yuna's going to win a 4-way 10-point tie on Chow Murky. Declines. Oh my god. Watch the carnage here. They could come down to endgame intrigues. Oh my gosh. Does anyone find an extra endgame intrigues? Anyone benefit from anything? Infiltrate, no good for Helena. Does Yuna find something? Dispensation, no good for Helena. It's too late, can't use it. It's a plot card. Yuna gets an intrigue. Yuna gets an intrigue. Here's the point for CJ. Yuna's got to take a reward here. This is important. Pointing out here. Yuna's going to take the rewards. Is Yuna ever going to take the rewards? Come on, guys. Oh, Holtzman engine point for... Oh, Holtzman engine point for Helena as well, so that gets up to 10. Yuna's got to take the rewards here. This is important. This is a big draw. Cole's no good. I can't believe this, folks. I legitimately, honest to God, think we are seeing a 4-way 10-point. Gets 1, however. Oh my god. Can you believe this? Chow Murky wins a 4-way point tie. And wins the game. Insane. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful tiebreaker.
Oh my grief.
Mama.
Second place is going to be Helena. Can you move those things out of the way, please? 1 second.
Yeah,
I'm trying to write.
get the results down.
Wait, how am I second place?
Oh my gosh.
A 4-way 10-point Chow Murky tie win. I've never seen this in my life. Amazing.
1 second. How am I second?
He has tiebreakers.
Yeah, Chow Murky.
Yeah, no, I know that, but
yeah,
Green
Beast has more
ties
spice.
than me.
Rewards. Remember, there's combat
No,
rewards.
he breaks ties.
Yeah.
No, he's talking about this.
Is he?
Beast has 6.
I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Beast has 6.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. I was already confused there for a moment.
Yeah, but
No, my bad.
I have to say,
Yeah.
that is one of the more dramatic games I've ever commentated on. Like
my roulette.
Oh
Didn't
my
get
god,
there, but-
I was watching that, I was just like living it with you. Like, that was insane. Just what a crazy game. I was just, you never had any idea who was going to win it. The whole way it was so close. I saw the Chow Murky pick, I was like, this could be huge. Little did we know that Chow
should've been.
Murky came from 4th to winning, as it turned out.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
nuts.
I fucking talked back so many intrigues in the end, and all of them were useless.
Oh yeah,
And
you had to just...
I got any other combat
Hold
card.
on, don't.
Yeah.
Taking
It
pictures.
would have been so
Yeah, we
much
need-
better for me.
Yeah, but I
Dude,
mean,
Rosado, high five.
what an amazing game. That was a great match. So that is gonna do it for us today on a dramatic nail-biter of a match for just the first week in Group H. Congratulations to Rosado for the victory, Dusty as well for the second. Commiserations, I suppose, to Dangerous and especially CJ. I mean, to only get 1 point from that game feels rough, but I mean, what can you do? Great game, well played pretty much by everyone. Some crazy stuff occurred at the end. What a match. Thank you all for watching. We will, of course, have plenty more footage from this tournament as we race through the group stages and eventually make our way towards the grand final. We will see you all in the next one. Have a good one, everyone. take cares, and maybe by this point you've probably catched your breaths. Maybe. What a match.